Yo, what's going on, my fellow revelers? Welcome back to another episode of the Festy Hub Podcast. I'm your host, Manny, aka Frisky Hug, and today's special guest, I've been trying to get him on for like a year now. We met a while ago. We met at a club. Well, I guess it was like an event going on, so I guess not just the club. But special guest is Celo. If you guys don't know of him, he does a lot of like dubstep music, and he's been brought on a lot by like Shaq. So a lot of it like really good clips is like where Shaq brings him on. It's super surreal. It's just like insane moments and stuff like that. And he plays a lot of music festivals too, not just here like locally, but he plays a lot of shows everywhere. And when I was first introduced to him, I would notice he was just back-to-back shows. So he's got a lot to teach. He's got a really good story. He's got a lot to say. So I was really happy to finally get him on. I have this whole like little studio thing here, so we busted it out, got the mics going, super cool stuff. But that's who's the special guest for today. Asked for some life updates just to kind of fill you guys in some stuff that's going on. When this episode comes out, I will be at Project Glow over in DC. I'm only going Saturday, so if you guys are there, definitely hit me up. It's a small festival. You guys should be able to like kind of spot me. I'm usually wearing some crazy outfits, so. And then we also got Sunset Music Festival, Forbidden Kingdom. We got Odyssey Music Festival, EDC Las Vegas. And then my butt is going back to school, so I'll be going to school in August. I got my associates, but I'm going back to school. The military is like paying for it, so like it's one of like the military benefits that I got from getting out, which is really nice, really cool. So they'll be paying for like my master's degree. I hope I get a master's degree. That's kind of the ambition, the hope, the dream. So that's really cool. If I do get a master's degree, if I don't, I'm hoping for at least a bachelor's degree because But yeah, that's it for live updates. I guess I could tell you guys that I'm also going to be doing Lost Lands, and I'm also going to be doing EDC Orlando, Imagine, hopefully Electric Forest, little teaser. But okay, that is all. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. All right, so I'd like to welcome Celo to the Festy Hub Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, this is going to be a lot of fun. I've been trying to get him on the podcast for a minute now. But me and Celo, I met him, I think the first day I was in Orlando. I was invited to Guild. It was really cool. I think like Nitty Gritty was playing or something like that.
I think it was.
And that's when I met you, and then our friendship has just developed ever since then, and it's been just super fucking cool, which has led us to this point now where I'm like, let's talk about your life and stuff. But for the viewers that don't know who you are, if you wouldn't mind just kind of giving a quick intro about yourself.
Yep. My name is Celo. I'm a DJ producer from Orlando, Florida. I make just about every genre from Jersey club, dubstep, house, trap, everything. So yeah, I've been living in Orlando for the last like 4 or 5 years, and I've just been DJing here locally, and then this year just started touring for the first time.
That's fucking sick. So a little bit about yourself, kind of like how did you get started with like raving, EDM? Like what was that transition like?
Crazy. In 2016, I want to say, I went to like my first show, which was like Mad Decent Block Party.
Mm-hmm.
I think ever since then I've been just jumping around from there and jumping around festivals and stuff. I did like Electric Forest, EDC Vegas, but and I think that ever since then it's grown. But I definitely like came in a little later than like most people I know.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people came in during.
How old
like,
are you?
room. I was 18.
That later.
I mean, I know a lot of. I mean, I guess everyone's a little bit older, but
well, people go when they're 12, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe some people.
So Celo, how did you come up with the name? What's that about?
Actually, I got it from a friend in high school who I never had a nickname, but my name is just Marcel, and he just one day we were like skateboarding and was like, "Yo, like Celo."
Marshmello.
Yeah, I don't even. Have
I
an O
never even. Wow. Okay.
Didn't even the O is come just thrown on there by somebody, so there's absolutely zero meaning to that. But that's where it came from. Just a homie that I used to skateboard with.
What's your ethnicity?
Peruvian and Spanish.
See, that's probably what it was. You say the A or the O in like Spanish words.
Yeah.
So it's either Marcela or Marcelo. So you
gotta be Marcel.
What kind of like music do you produce now? These like what do you like? Actually, have you ever like dabbed in other type of music like hip hop and stuff, or have you always been like EDM?
I actually have done hip hop.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have a friend named Risky who is like a rapper from back home, and
Risky Rug, huh?
Risky and Frisky. That's funny. He's a rapper from back home in Key West, and he like has a lot of songs with like some decently sized rappers like Twista, Smoke Perp, bunch of stuff like that. So I produced a lot of his songs with that are like with features and stuff like Danny Towers from here. Actually,
You're just like another Kevin Flum.
I love that
For
guy.
real.
That's my guy. I love. He's awesome, dude. Kevin's the man. But yeah, I don't really do much hip hop anymore. But I think I'm gonna get more into it like the next coming year. Just been busy with like EDM stuff.
Okay, so you did that first, and then you transitioned to it.
Yeah, that was actually some of the first production I did that was like serious, and then after that I went more into EDM. Kind of like taught myself the basics with that.
Do you think that kind of helped you? Like,
Oh, absolutely helped
and
me.
when did you start the hip hop stuff?
That was probably, I gotta be like 2018, 2019 maybe? Yeah, like 2018, 2019.
Okay.
But like I didn't produce for a while. I was DJing for a little bit. When I first started DJing, I didn't get to produce. So I just didn't even think of it. I found the board and I started playing, and it never crossed my head to even until things started getting a little bit more serious, and then I was like, oh.
Do you think it's better to start DJing first and then producing, or produce first and then figure out how to DJ?
That's an everlasting debate
right.
between everybody, but I think it has pros and cons on both sides. I think it's, from what I've heard, it's like better to most of the people I've spoken to say that it's better to just be a DJ first. So then like, because there's a lot of really nice producers that like don't have like end up getting anywhere with it like musically regardless.
Right.
So it's like better to get your name out DJing, have the ear for like what people want to hear,
and
then make music that caters to that. So yeah.
And then what kind of music do you make? You just make dubstep?
Right now I make a lot of dubstep, making like some future bass, making a little trap, some house. Still make everything.
Some house?
A little bit of house. Yeah. Been super inspired by like people like Shy and Giles and like Knock 2 and stuff like that to try to make some stuff.
Any drum and bass?
I enjoy it, but it's just, I don't know.
Not many people like it.
I like it, but it's not, I don't know if I would, I think I made like one drum and bass song before, but
Yeah.
never was like crazy about it.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, you know. What are some like unforgettable moments that you've had in your music career?
Unforgettable moments, probably. I mean, I'm gonna name drop this. Definitely like getting brought out by Shaq. Like, at EDC. I think it was not this last year, the year before. I had like a remix that I did to Ray Volpe's track "Insane," and it was like a speed house like rendition of it. So it was like it's like speed house, and yeah, he really loved that track. He was playing it for like a whole year straight, and that was like the first remix of mine that he ever played, or like track, like original or remix that he played. And yeah, that one, that was crazy. They like let the pyro go, and it was insane. So probably like that, and then getting to like I got to open for Nightmare recently, and that's always been like a really huge inspiration for me.
And now you're doing that again.
And I get to do it again. You heard it first
another
here.
one.
I haven't even announced that, so yeah.
Shit.
all good. But yeah, a little bit. That's all good. We're about to announce it, but yeah, I'm gonna play here for the Orlando show at Vanguard, and that's gonna be awesome. And he's always been like massive inspiration. The way he's went from like trap, dubstep, everything. Like he plays pretty much these days whatever he wants, which is awesome.
I'll fucking be there.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Well, I'm supposed to be on Nightmare's guest list, so I had to like. Hopefully, you didn't forget.
If you forgot, I got you.
Okay, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
What other people have you played for? So we got Nightmare, DJ Diesel.
Nightmare, DJ Diesel, direct with Valentino Khan, direct with like Eliminate.
You do a lot of direct supports
These days, yeah.
these days.
Fucking, I mean, never
privilege. Well, not privilege. You work hard for it. So
of course, yeah.
like,
It wasn't like that at first.
Yeah.
I dude, when I first lived I grew up in Key West, Florida, so I was like,
ooh, that's beautiful.
beautiful, yeah, but there's no EDM there at all.
Yeah.
So, especially not like 6 years ago. So, growing up down there, and then I used to come up 8 hours to play my first couple shows, and I was playing doors. And so I was playing to like 3 people. Now we drive all the way up. I wouldn't say it's 8. It's like 7 hours. Play 3 people, come back down, and then work like a 11-hour shift directly after. And it's just like, and I feel like that's the kind of like drive it takes to like really get you where you want to be. It's like, how bad do you really want it?
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's gonna be 3 people there, 3,000 people there. I don't even know anything about, and I was just driving up, going to play my first couple of shows.
Only because we're talking about like traveling and moving around and stuff like that. What drove you to live? Can I say that you live here?
Yeah.
What drove you to live here in Orlando?
Because when I first started playing shows, it was here. It was like just happened to be the first, whether it was like here or Miami. And then I started meeting people from like playing my first couple shows up here, which like people like Bass Night, like you know, Bass Night obviously gave me like one of my first like couple shows as well, and as well as like some of my friends that were throwing shows at like locally and back in the day, and that just gave me the opportunity to get here.
So we were talking about Shaq, right? DJ Diesel, for those that don't know, which I'm be super fucking surprised watching this podcast and you don't know. What is your relationship with Shaq? How'd you guys even like get started with like connecting with each other? Like who DM'd who?
That's a good one. I actually didn't meet Shaq first. I met his best friend Brian, who he is the one who showed Shaq about like dubstep and all that stuff. He's the one who's like not taught him how to DJ. He's been known how to DJ, but like kind of like led him on to the genre and showed him like, yo, like Shaq told him like, yo, you showed me this dubstep, like I want to DJ this. I don't want to play house music. I don't want me to play house, but I don't want to play like hip hop and Miley Cyrus and all that stuff. So his best friend Brian, who showed him dubstep, was looking to show Shaq music on. So he goes through SoundCloud. He's digging and digging. Yeah. And this was when I first started producing. I made like these mashup packs of like 12 mashups, and I would just put them on SoundCloud to try to grow my platform. And I got a DM from a guy named Brian Bayadi, and he was like, yo, your mashups are crazy. Yeah. Like, I'm going to show them to Shaq. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I was like, all right, man, cool. He's like, text me right now. And he put his phone number. I said, okay. So I'm going to text like, yo, this is Celo, whatever. Didn't hear back for a while. Eventually heard back, and he was like, send me a video of Shaq playing one somewhere. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked at that point. And I feel like that was another moment that was just like, it
surreal.
Surreal for sure. Everything with Shaq, I mean, it's going to feel surreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a insane thing that he's in dubstep, and he like really cares about it too, you know? So yeah, definitely.
Fucking crazy, man. And I've had crazy fucking, when we were talking about this before we started the podcast, where like, I felt on cloud 9, some points in my life during this career path that I've had. Because I look back, man, I'm like, man, I started paying for events and like just going as a regular, G.I. Joe. And then now I'm like being asked to do things at festivals. And, somewhere down the road, people are talking about you. People hear about you, and there's connections and networks that you've never even thought were possible that are not getting you to the places that you never thought you'd ever be at. And it's fucking amazing. And you're talking about all that pyro shit, dude. Like,
it's crazy, dude.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and it's been insane watching your growth as well. Like I've been watching since the time we met to now. It's like so cool to see, and I'm so happy to be here for sure. So thank you for having me.
I'm glad that I'm cool enough that you can finally be on the podcast.
No, it's not even that. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to have something cool to say. Now I have actual cool things. Yeah, to say. I didn't have much to say before.
No, I mean, yeah, I get that part too. Like I know that there's some people like they don't want to be in the podcast. Like I think it was Shizlo for one. He's waiting to he was like, oh, I'm waiting for you to release some like fire ass EP and then like let's do the podcast, right? But my thing is like if I don't get you right here right now, I'm just gonna forget. Like I'll be fucking honest, man.
There's so many artists.
There's so many things going on.
You go through thousands of artists. I mean, it's an endless pool out there for sure.
Yeah, I got like so many things going on in life, and
of course.
And then unfortunately for me, I was trying to make EDM my entire like full-time career. And it didn't exactly work out that way. I was doing it for like 6-8 months. EDM was paying me enough so that I could just pay bills that way. But I didn't anticipate there being like a break between like December and like March. I completely forgot about that. And I was like, I need a job. So like now I got another job. Now I got a full-time job. Now I'm like, hopefully I can get back to just doing EDM full-time again because I really enjoyed doing like 3 podcast episodes in 1 week and just busting them all out and then doing all these things and just being available. Like, I think it was the week before Groove Cruise. I get a call from my friend. She goes, hey, do you want to go to Groove Cruise? All expenses paid for.
So dope.
I'm like, wow, week's notice. Bet done. Let's go.
Yeah, that's sick.
I don't got no job. I got no, like shit. Amazing. If you've been,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been to like any cruises or whatever, but Groove Cruise, all EDM people in there. I mean, the DJs are all hanging out. I mean,
I've heard nothing but good things about Groove Cruise.
I gotta go.
definitely want to play it.
I wanted to go again, but I was trying to get Buku to play there because I interviewed the owner actually, and I like brought up Buku's name. He's like, I've never heard of Buku. I'm like, oh, you should look him up, you know? Because I did promise Buku I was gonna bring up his name on the podcast just in case and stuff. So I did my good deed of the day.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you.
What are some things that you're grateful for? Doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be EDM, but like just in general, if you want to, any people, mentors.
Yeah, definitely all my friends around me right now. I have a lot of really good people. And I think when I first came into like the scene a couple of years ago, it was like really hard to break through. It was like super tight knit and stuff. I feel like right now everyone's pretty chill. As long as you have like manners, you're respectful, you know, anyone who messages me or any of my friends that are producing, like everyone in Florida, everyone's really nice about everything.
Yeah.
They'll answer your questions. Just don't blow people up. Have manners. I'm here. I constantly.
I'm simple,
talk to
man.
people all the
Just
time, man.
be a good person, and
Yep,
that's
that's
all
all.
I care about. Being a good person, bro. But if you start disrespecting me, man,
Yeah.
like in the green room, you start yelling at me, embarrassing me in front of everybody. Like I had last week, man. I won't bring up any names or whatever, but last week, somebody like literally disrespected me so bad twice, and yesterday, and I was like kind of in a weird mood, and that's like honestly kind of where you, Snails, Rated R all kind of came up where I was at, and you were all sitting down. That had happened literally like 5 minutes before that, you know, and I was like in a weird mood, and I was like, dude, this like it's so simple, like because I'm a very simplistic guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to please me. Just don't be an asshole. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
Believe it or not, it's hard for a lot of people. I mean, you can see it. It's pretty tough for some people, but yeah, man. I mean, thankful for that.
Yeah.
Thankful for definitely all my friends around me got like just anyone that's supporting right now. Honestly, everyone that's like streaming my music, just that believes in the project, or that's that's been around for like a long time too. Like all the OGs that I still have like the same like core group of people that hit me up every time or still share my music whenever it drops, and it means the world. So definitely that's.
I have been grateful to have been like I like submerged myself into like you guys like friend group, and I've like met all of you guys. And honestly, I gotta say, you guys have a really fucking dope group. Like you're all the, and I can see why it's such a close knit group of friends that you guys have. And you guys, I can see that you guys all watch each other's backs. You guys all take care of each other. And I'm like, dude, this is like a good group of friends. Like you guys all take care of each other. It's super fucking dope.
And we
to see.
roast each other. You know, you have to. I'm the worst.
You can't be a friend unless you do that.
Exactly.
If you're not talking
I take
shit.
it too far sometimes. I gotta say, I take it a little too far. But
I was just talking that to my other friend too. He was just here yesterday, and he was like, "Hey," he was telling me, "Hey man, just let you know, like I appreciate our friendship, and honestly, you do be talking some shit sometimes, but I'm like, he's like, but you know when to stop. It's alright. It's alright."
That's too good.
Sometimes I need to take a step
we
back.
all need it. We all
You know,
need it.
you love
I
your
know
friends.
how
You're
it
like, when is roasting too much roasting?
Yeah, I don't know the limits. Someone's got to check me. That's the only way.
Anybody else that you're grateful for? Have you had mentors? Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I never had like mentors, but I'm definitely thankful for like people. Like I have people like Crank that who's like I can hit up anytime and he'll give me like advice on anything, whether it's like music or music. And I just recently like been talking to him a lot, and him and damn, I'm trying to think who.
Damn, I was just listening to his live set last night, literally like 12 hours ago.
Oh yeah, which one? The Ultra.
Was it Ultra? It might have been Ultra. It was
Yeah.
pretty fancy HD, so.
Oh yeah.
So maybe
it was. Yeah, he's incredible and like probably one of my biggest inspirations. So like anyone like mostly him is like probably one of my biggest inspirations for sure. Like the way he just bends genres and jumps around from house to dubstep to literally anything, whatever he feels like playing. It's awesome. So
Speaking of family and stuff like that, when you told your parents, I'm going to be a DJ, was there any like, I don't know, pushback?
I definitely got a little pushback from my mom. My dad's a producer and a musician, so he was like,
Oh, shit.
for it. Yeah, he was all for it, off rip. He was like, whatever you need, like, let me know. And I got right into it. And even like my mom was always like, I would DJ in my room and she'd be like, yo, put it down. Put it down. My dad's like, turn that shit up. It's like opposites. But my mom, once she saw like actual show pictures and like, and then she eventually had like her own friends. She like goes to the gym and stuff, and she'd be like, oh, like I know your son, like I saw him at a festival or something, and then stuff like that is what made her realize like, oh, okay, like, he's actually doing something. He's not just like DJing and not making money.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you just play at a strip club. I have some friends
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like, oh, I played at a strip club, mom. I'm like, dude, come on.
Especially with the music, dude. Like, and look, Hispanic moms, they don't play that. You can't be playing with them.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, man, when I told my mom that I wanted to do EDM full time, she literally threw a chocolate at me, bro. I was done.
It is. That's
and
mandatory.
I had to actually show her proof that I was making money off of it. And then it wasn't until like I showed her like a meetup, and there was like 110 people that showed up to my meetup, right? Showed her that, and she's like, okay, are they paying you for this? I'm like, damn, you know what? Not enough. But I was like, I am paying. So I showed her like the check, and I was like, yeah, they're paying me. And she goes, okay, all right. So like it wasn't until like
you have to start somewhere.
and I think that's how like Hispanic moms are, because I think if my mom was white, she'd be like, good for you, good for you.
Yeah.
But Mexican moms are not like they don't play around, man. They're like, you be making money or you're wasting time.
Straight up, that's how it was for me too. It's like if you're not going to college, like, and it was just like on my own at that point too. That after I said I wanted to be a DJ, they're like, you're on your own. Like you're not going to college. Like we're not going to help you. Like
you didn't do any. You didn't do any years. You didn't even start college, or you did?
No, I never did college.
Oh wow.
I went straight from high school, and I just like started like slowly DJing and just working jobs. And then
are you ever thinking about going back to college and just like getting?
Maybe at some point. I just have so much on my plate.
When you're rich and famous, bro, and you're like, I just want to go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. There's nothing wrong with getting an education. I just don't have the time right now. I mean, I'd be down for sure. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm trying to get like my master's degree. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but in the military, I got benefits now. So I got a full ride to college, and they're paying me $2,000 a month to go to school. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting paid to get an education, which is different than most people's like, decision making. So like for me, it's easy. It's easy. I'm just gonna go to school, get paid, and I can do EDM full time.
That's so sick. Hell yeah.
So that's my thought process on that. But
that's a win scenario for sure.
Speaking about like your future and stuff, are you currently working on that you can talk about? Are you currently making any music? Are you currently have any collabs in the works? Is there anything you can talk about with future projects?
Yeah, for future projects, I got a song coming out next month. We're gonna announce soon on Bass Rush. It's the Forbidden Kingdom anthem for the year, and it's a collab with Rated R. So that's gonna be awesome. We're doing that. And after that, shortly or maybe not shortly, I can't really say. There's the song with Shaq's coming out, which is I'm super hyped for. It's been done for a long time, and I'm just like so ready for it to come out.
Fuck, dude.
It's been
goosebumps.
I'm ready, man. It's been a long time. So I'm super excited for that, and as well as some more like cool stuff, like some more original.
And when
stuff.
did you say that was gonna be part releasing? Next month, the one with Shaq.
The one with Shaq, we don't have a date yet.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like after the Forbidden Kingdom anthem with Rated R.
Okay, bet. That's like really fucking dope to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm so excited. They've got a whole album coming out, a bunch of big names on there, like big names, just killer names like Company, Crank That,
Love Company, man. He's such a good dude.
Chassis, Cosmos, Trigga. He's like probably the smallest dude on there, and me and him are like, and it's just so cool. Like Shaq will like work with like smaller artists.
I love that about him.
Your music, like,
yeah, we like honestly like just like non-artist people. Like we talk about Shaq doing like just good things. Him, Grizz, like the things they do, man. Like, when you're a DJ and you're doing things for the community, and smaller artists are part of the fucking community too.
Yeah.
And it's acknowledged. Like when you're doing these amazing things, like Grizz, he does these free shows for the people. Like I've actually been to a couple of them. That's the parking lot, and they're just free. I'm like, this is amazing. Shaq helps literally collab with smaller DJs, puts their music on, stuff like that. Amazing. And then like so these artists, like we talk about it as like normal fucking attendees and shit. It's really fucking cool to see that somebody is putting like the extra effort to really be a part of the community, because sometimes it feels like there's a split between, oh, I'm this big time DJ and I'm part of the community. I forget what DJ it was, right? But it was like he put some. I think only one of them put it on, because I think it was two. But he put on his Twitter, influencers are ruining the EDM culture, and I'm just like, I don't even think I remember you being part of the culture, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you on the grounds. I think I've only ever seen you from like up there. So I don't think people understand what it means to be part of the EDM culture.
Yeah.
So unless you're actually being a part of the community and you're actually inserting yourself into these ravers' lives and doing some good for the community, I don't think you actually know what the fuck the culture's about.
100%. That's well said. I agree.
What is something that you wish you knew before you entered this career path? Is there anything that you just kind of wish somebody had told you?
Definitely. I came as a DJ first and like producer second, so I wish I had started producing earlier. And I think every DJ in my position would say the same thing, that like focus more on producing. If you're really trying to make a career out of it, that's the most important thing. Just produce. That can come. The DJing can come, second to that always. So I wish so. Definitely that.
See, that goes back to like my third question. When I asked you, should you know how to DJ first or produce first, and you just answered your own question.
Yeah.
Produce, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could always. I feel like you always like learn to DJ later, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think production is like the really hard part. So like,
It's way harder.
start grinding it now.
Yeah.
Because that eventually what's gonna make or break your career is, can you produce? No one gives a fuck.
They care. It's important. It's
yeah,
important.
right.
Don't get me wrong. It's very important. It's just the fact that you can't just be a DJ without the music. Like, you know what I mean? You have to have
Some people
both.
won't even book you unless you have at least like 1 or 2 songs.
100%.
Like at all. Like they just don't want to. They could just get anybody that could DJ at this point.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's pretty important, I guess. So, very good advice, honestly. I think it's very smart to, yeah. What do you hope to accomplish within like the next 5 years, like doing this? Is there any like specific goals that you are trying to get to?
Definitely wanna just like really hone in on like.
You already played at Red Rocks. I mean, you can scratch that off the list.
I just got brought out.
Oh, okay, all right.
I hope at some point I get to play Red Rocks.
Yeah.
That'd be a dream come true for sure. And that venue is insane. I love that place. That's probably like my favorite venue ever. But yeah, the next 5 years I really want to hone in on like my own sound. I feel like I kind of dabble in so much different genres, and there's like so many. I take inspiration from so many different things that it's kind of hard to like. I don't really have like my own like sound, I would say right now.
You don't think so?
A little bit, but not
Yeah.
not as much as I want. Like some people, you hear like a Calcium song or whatever, you can tell off rip it's Calcium. Or
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's super like right on there. So I'm trying to get to that point, and I think that's definitely one of my and then being able to tour full time. I think that'll make me like super happy, and just I'll be happy with that.
What would be some good advice that you could give somebody that you could give like a DJ that feels stagnant in their career?
Probably, this is something that I was told by like other like bigger DJ producers. You have to switch it up. Like you can't stay and do like the same thing always. If your routine is just like wake up and like make music a certain way, like, and it's just you do it over and over again for like 6-8 months and you're not making progress at all. You got to find something else. Like not like switch out of the genre, or just start doing different things and try different things until something works. And when you find something that works, that's when you roll with it.
I think my problem is that there's DJs that I know personally that are like, I just want to be different. I want to be. I'm sorry, but you're like 3 months in your career.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for years, and you're over here trying to make new sound.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And people, and it's very possible. I mean, it could happen, but
yeah.
It's also like is extremely difficult, and it will take years and years, and that's how people find their own sound. So I mean, respect to anyone doing that for sure.
True.
If that's the way you want to do it, but
I feel like there's like a time and a place, and I just think like your first year of making music, really focus on the basics. Really focus on just getting it together and just being good at the craft first. Create
big time.
And then try to be unique next. But like honestly, if you don't even have the basics down,
I think a lot of people that come off rip like that, I feel like they think they know everything, but they don't. You know what I mean? You still you gotta realize you're still a student to the craft. So
it's like this shit don't stink. Why am I not playing these shows?
Oh, that's the worst. You can never ask yourself, why am I not playing this and that? You just gotta work harder. You just gotta make better music. You just gotta get your hands dirty. That's all it is. That entitlement stuff is not good. I don't think
it's an ugly color.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until I started progressing my career in this EDM industry stuff. When I started hanging out more with DJs, and I started noticing like there was this huge entitlement with DJs that weren't getting booked, and I noticed it when they were like, not here in Florida. Honestly, everyone here in Florida has been really really fucking cool. But back in Colorado, I had DJs that were mad at me. They're like, "Oh, why are you getting paid to go to festivals? Why are you getting free tickets? Excision's playing my song and I didn't even get invited." That sounds like a personal problem. But DJs, like I said, at least not everywhere, but there are some DJs, man, that like the entitlement is like a big part of their life.
Oh yeah, a lot of people definitely. I mean, I was always raised on like I don't even like look at what other people are doing. So you could be like soaring through the sky with
That's
no
smart.
music, and I could not care less. Like I worry about myself.
Yeah.
All that energy that you're putting into worrying about what other people are doing and their success, you could just be funneling that right back into yourself and getting you where you need to be. So
Well, that brings me back to like another question now, which
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just in the industry or probably a bunch of other stuff really kind of like deal with, and they have to kind of like figure out for themselves. What do you think about? Well, I guess what I don't know if the proper term is, but it's called the comparison game. Have you heard of it? So it's basically where you compare yourself to other people's success.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the exact opposite of what you should do. That is a horrible thing.
It's like I don't like it. I don't agree.
No, I think it happens to every like producer every once in a while. You kind of get in like a headspace where you see someone like incredibly good flourish in a year or 2 years, and they go from the bottom all the way up, and their music's insane, and you compare yourself. You're like, damn, I don't, but
Like maybe I'm not like. What am I doing wrong?
yeah, exactly. And I think that it's just everyone's journey is different. So
Yeah.
I think to sit and even spend any more than 10 seconds worrying about that is just pointless to me. You're in your own shoes. You got work to do.
Did you figure that out really early on?
Very early. My dad, well, I grew up like, my dad was like taught by my father.
Shit, man. Okay, so fucking awesome because I had to learn that shit like like in the middle of my career, and I was like, at some points, man, I was like, what am I doing wrong, man?
Yeah.
I'm like, I felt stagnant, and I couldn't even imagine DJs who feel stagnant, right? So like that's why like we're asking this for that advice. But like in my career, I felt stagnant to the point where like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Am I doing anything wrong? I don't know. And then like, and I've asked my friends like, you're in the right path. What are you doing with it? I'm not doing right. Like, like help me out. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, maybe, you start questioning all these things. And you start spiraling. Am I a bad person? And maybe, do I need to act better? Do I, are people saying things about me behind my back that I'm just not figuring out? And like, and I feel like everybody goes through that. Super fucking awesome that you kind of like learn that from your dad, because I think a lot of like creators, and I say creators and like artists as well, have had to deal with like their own ego, and like having to figure out why they're not moving at the pace they thought it was. And eventually I realized that I don't need to go by your rules of when I should be done with like whatever the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to go and just let it flow naturally, because I don't even know when that fucking thing is. I don't even know when I'm supposed to be doing this, and this. But I'll tell you what, man, I get random emails all the time that like give me the confidence, like, wow, I got a random email to do this, and this, like out of nowhere. So like, I think like some of the advice is like, just let everything flow naturally. You shouldn't set a fucking schedule for your accomplishments, and your friends shouldn't set them for one either. So it's like, if you see your friends flourish, be happy for them.
time.
Honestly, personally.
Big time. I'm on the same boat.
What is, like last thing, because I think we're going to cut the podcast pretty soon, but what is some advice you could give for somebody that's kind of like trying to get to where you're at?
Yeah, if you're trying to be successful, I mean, what I personally did, I mean, I can tell you this isn't going to work for everybody. Some people that are more like, that kind of have like their own sound, it's going to be different. But for me, I just focused on making music music edits, remixes, everything that people would want to play, clubs, because I came from being the kid who was on tracklist.com, the website where you can see every DJ's set list. I would hound the website every festival, EDC Vegas, EDC Orlando, Tomorrowland, whatever it was, and I would hound it, get all the songs, listen to all the sets, and just like have all my favorite stuff all liked on SoundCloud, and just like be a complete nerd about it. And I think when I realized that that was what I was doing, I was like, I looked inside, I was like, there's got to be more kids like this. So I went straight to try to make stuff that would get played out.
Okay.
And then that's it. And I just tried to push it and get it out, and eventually it got out, and everyone started playing it, like Carl Grime and Shaq and everybody, 4B and Nightmare Slander on the radio and whatever it is. So yeah, I just pushed it hard.
I saw your Spotify rap, man.
Oh yeah,
that shit. Wow, the numbers on this guy.
That was actually SoundCloud. The SoundCloud was good.
Oh, SoundCloud. Okay.
Actually, yeah, because I started off pretty much only on SoundCloud
Yep.
because I was doing like bootleg remixes, which is like where you remix a song unofficially, so you can't be on Spotify. The artist lets you put it on Spotify.
That's true.
You can put it, but I couldn't. I was just picking songs, and I was trying to get hyped like that, like get attention, people's ears, and that's how I got like my start going with that. But yeah, I was like, I don't know what it was, like 500,000 or something like that. It was just like incredible, and I'm like so thankful for. But we're always shooting for the sky. We're gonna go for more next year for sure. But
space is the limit, man. And it's funny because like that's why I have SoundCloud too. Like I put the podcast on SoundCloud as well because like there are people who only do SoundCloud.
The best.
And I'm like, even if it's 3 fucking people, man, it's gonna be on there because you're one of those people that watch it on SoundCloud. I don't know. I personally don't watch podcasts on SoundCloud. Yeah. But you know, whatever.
You got to do it. It's better you cover all platforms.
I cover every platform, man. At least I try to. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, Celo, this has been amazing, man. If you wouldn't mind just kind of giving your handles away to the viewers so they can kind of like know where to find you.
Yeah. Instagram, CeloMusic, CeloMusic. Twitter, CeloMusic with an underscore because someone took my name.
And, what?
And TikTok, CeloMusic with the underscore because someone else took my name on there too. So, and that's it. That's all I got. And Spotify, Celo. Apple Music, Celo.
Okay.
I think that's it,
so
right? Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put all that stuff that he said on the description down below. So go ahead and add and follow him. And then also if you're interested in like watching this podcast, where is it located? I got this on Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You name the platform, it's probably on it. But the video version is only available on 2 sites. That's on Spotify and that's on YouTube. But yeah, that's it. Thank you, Celo, for coming. And like I say at every episode, I'm going to catch y'all at the next one. Bye.